Life has and will always be a tireless ascent to reach the pinnacle of success, to acquire the best of who you are while shedding the weight of your old self who didn't know better, to give up the parts of you that once felt like second skin, realizing one has to shake off the dust laden layer that prevents you from harnessing your true potential. To be honest, life has mostly been unforgiving, relentlessly trading obstacles for only some semblance of peace. I remember the first time I left home to become someone and how terrified I was. It seemed like the end of the world for how little I had seen of it. To walk into the unknown, unprotected, was like a nightmare there was no waking up from. Who knew I would learn and grow so remarkably I would fail to sympathize with the girl who was scared because of how quickly I would forget the reason for my fear. Life is funny that way, making you question the truths you have always believed in. But that is the thing about beliefs. They change, then you change out of your respect for them. Even though most days and nights seem like a clock timing your progress of how close you have come to what you had aimed for yourself, but the wisdom brought by independence has taught me that achieving something is the easier part. To make yourself worthy enough to be able to proudly claim it is something else entirely. Self doubt has always been my biggest enemy and discipline my only ally. I believe humans are as powerful a creature as they are powerless. The secret lies in their understanding of themselves, for the highest forms of knowledge one can gain and make their life count is the knowledge of the self. Because who are you if you never had the vigor in you to explore who you are? No matter what you choose to do in life, it never goes to waste. The only condition being you do justice to the soul that inhabits this body. Disappointments, I have come to learn, are crucial to build one's perspective of what a right path looks like for them. Because walking through a desert is harder without water, I agree, but the thirst is necessary for you to keep going towards the horizon. And I have been resentful at times, I will admit it, have questioned the purpose of it all, like many of us. But it is sweet, the ecstasy of the pride that comes with the revelation that your suffering accompanied you everywhere when no one else did. That you are stronger than yesterday because you decided not to give up before you went to sleep last night. Life, I realized, is a series of make or break moments. And every time you choose not to seize, no matter how many adversities come your way, are the times that add weight to your name. Times that allow you to look back and smile at yourself, who was brave so you could be fearless. I am nobody to tell you whether there's a right way to live a life, except what I believe. That is, the only right way to live a life is to make mistakes and to make sure no two mistakes are the same. You will know you had a life well lived by the number of stories you'll have to share at a table full of people. Life is not some task that needs to be finished before the deadline arrives. It is like an old, worn, used book that needs to be loved. Every page should be worthy of the ink that was used to fill it, and every sentence should be written out of a breath that held some meaning. I read somewhere that we are born several times in one life before we die once, and for all and every birth is an opportunity to reshape yourself into a person who is perishable by their body but immortal by their mind. I agree life is not without regrets, but it is a greater loss to never have known at all. It's almost a sin to let yourself watch the horizon from your window when you could have been someone who can build a home there. I guess the only thing left to say at the end is that you cannot live your life in one stretch. You have to wake up every morning and choose to live it. Fill it with what nourishes you. Find depth in that you are. Add substance to your days. Laugh with those you love. Tell them you were made because they decided to build you, and that you stand tall because they held you up in times when you couldn't do it for yourself. Make sure that when it is all over, you are so full of all the good this world had to offer, you can't help but exploit the privilege of giving some of it back. Life can be spent looking for reasons you don't need, or it can be spent looking for answers you've always wanted. At last, it is only you who has to climb up to the peak if you wish to see the valley. Nobody else's words describing it for you will fulfill the hunger of your eyes.